Vanakkam, Namaste, greetings to all. We gather here to conduct a powerful meditation for world peace, harmony, unity, peace of mind, and overall health and well-being in the world. I am pleased to mention that we have achieved 1,176 days of meditation. Currently, we are meditating 3 times a day, including talks that hold educational value for many people. Sessions take place every day at following UK timings: 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m., and 8 p.m. We are grateful to all those who have contributed to this achievement, including Meditation for World Peace and Harmony Forum, PSSM Tamil Europe, PSSM Global, and participants who joined in these sessions. Today's session will begin with 25 minutes of meditation and accompanied by calming music. After that, our guest speaker, Suresh Kalburgi, will deliver a talk on the topic Science of Meditation. Following Suresh Kalburgi talk, there will be a question and answer and discussion session will take place in English. After that, Saro Sundarlingam Master will summarize Suresh's speech in Tamil language. There will be a feedback session conducted in Tamil as well. Now I invite Arundhati Master to conduct the meditation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Greetings to all. The purpose of meditation is to train our mind and to use it effectively and efficiently in our daily life. Meditation can help us to get rid of tension and to find relaxation. Meditation can calm and help us to find peace of mind. It doesn't require a specific spiritual belief. Anyone can practice meditation. It is very easy to practice. One needs to be mindful of natural breath. Breathing should be natural. Just breathe in and out. When we are with our breath, our mind becomes empty. Once our mind becomes empty, the cosmic energy starts entering into our body. Our performance level will increase and we will be able to deal very effectively with any situation in our life. Now we will get into meditation. Take any comfortable posture. If you are sitting on a chair, sit comfortably and cross your feet. Interlock your fingers like this and place it on your lap. Close your eyes gently and breathe in and out. Whenever thoughts arises, please come back to your normal, natural breathing. When the minds become empty, the cosmic energy starts entering into our body. Once the energy starts entering into our body, our performance level will increase and we will be able to deal very effectively with any situation in our life. There will be a gentle background music to relax your mind. Please observe your normal, natural breathing. There will be a 25 minutes music meditation. Thank you. Final 5 seconds, please. Come back to your normal awareness. Unlock your fingers and place your palm on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remove your hands and look inside your palm. And we thank for the wonderful meditation we did today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. We thank everyone who took part in our joint meditation today, focusing on peace of mind, psychological healing, and for the world peace and harmony with the blessing of the cosmic power. When we meditate jointly, it helps to generate a social force in the form of oneness that spreads across all the nations around the world to promote peace and harmony and in general well-being to everyone around the world. A sincere thanks to Arundhati Master for conducting this meditation today and for the calming music provided for the meditation by Nandini Master from Melbourne, Australia. We would also like to thank PSSM Tamil Europe, PMC TV, which is part of PSSM Global. May the whole world be blessed with peace, harmony, prosperity, and well-being. Next, I'll introduce the speaker. I'm delighted to introduce today's speakers, Suresh Kalburgi, a distinguished trainer in body, mind, soul concepts, and meditation. He got a degree in electronics and communication. And currently, he serves as a CEO, director of CTDI India Private Limited, a subsidiary of CTDI USA. Suresh's spiritual journey began in 1996 with a course in Siddha Samadhi Yoga. Since then, he has completed numerous self-learning courses on mind control and healing, including silver mind control, quantum jumping, remote viewing, and Reiki second degree. He firmly believes that meditation is the foundation of all mind control and healing techniques. After being introduced to the Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement, PSSM, and meditation in 2009, Suresh Master has conducted numerous free meditation sessions at corporate offices and educational institutions. For over a decade, he has volunteered his service to PSSM and Pyramid Valley International. He also co-mentors the popular 7-day stillness retreat at Kannada at Pyramid Valley International. Suresh's vision is to inspire meditation practice in every person to encounters worldwide, creating a wave of consciousness that promotes mindfulness, self-realization, natural happiness, health, and love. Without further delay, I would like to invite Suresh Master to talk about science of meditation. Thank you very much. The platform is yours now. Thank you, Suresh Master.
Thank you, Shrikantji, and thank you all the masters for being here and providing this platform. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be part of this forum of World Peace and Harmony Meditation, which is going on and now it's spreading across the world, the peace and the harmonious living and meditation. So thank you, masters, and definitely today we will be talking about the science of meditation, though I would have covered it in the past, but just wanted to recollect and represent here what is the science of what happens with the meditation and then how does it work, how does it help us to be better humans and to help us to manage our lives better, right? So I would like to present a few slides on this screen so that we can talk and share it, and then we can interact if there are any questions further on this one. Right. So hope everyone can see the screen. You are able to see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So friends, we all have been into meditation and one of the simplest and easiest way of meditation is to observe the breath, that is Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation, right? So what happens, right, through the meditation practice, right? So if you see this image in the screen, you have two images here, right? One as past, present, and future, and the other also has past, present, and future, right? So the difference between these two images is that, in one of the images, you can see the past is a very bigger block. And, the second one, here you see the future is a bigger block, right? And if you see the present and the future is small in the first image, and then the second image, the past and the future is a smaller, past and present is a smaller block. So what does it represent, right? So if I consider here the volume, if I consider that these two images represent a balloon which has the same volume of air inside the balloon, and I divide that into three parts, right? So what happens here is the volume of the air is the same, but the amount of the volume of the air in the past is higher here, and then the future is higher in the second image. So friends, we all, just like the balloon filled with air, we all are just like the body filled with the prana here, right? So we are the fillers in the body, we are the fillers in the mind. We are the Chaitanya Shakti, the energy, or we call Atman or source or the spirit. We all have the same potential. We all have the same capability, and just like the omnipresent energy everywhere, right? So, but the difference here is, where do we deploy this energy? Where do we focus the energy? Where do we focus where is our consciousness? Where is our awareness? So that is what is going to grow, right? Usually the human tendency is that the thoughts or our awareness or our consciousness is completely wandering. Wandering in the sense it is going to the past or it is going to the future. So what happens here is the past is again, which is not in the present moment, that it is already, it creates a lot of regrets and a lot of dissatisfaction, disgusting situations, and that would have passed through. And that's what gets created. Actually, all our energy, our focus, our awareness, our consciousness is all on the past. And we lose the present completely. And whenever we are eating, sleeping, talking, a lot of time, 99.9%, the thoughts or our awareness is of the past. Or there is another way, is going to the future, which brings more anxiety. What happens tomorrow? What I should be doing next moment from here. okay, after the session, I have to walk somewhere or go to some place, or I have to take care of the weekend activity. So a lot of the mind goes to the future. So future is uncertain. It gives a lot of anxiety, insecurity, stress, and the fear and things like that. And when we generate that stress or the anxiety, that actually is going to grow further, and it is going to create a lot of mental and physical disorders, right? Disorders or stress, that is called as so-called as stress. So definition of the stress means absent of the present moment. Absence of the present moment is called as stress. So these two situations of awareness or consciousness is a perfect recipe for stress. The mind is neither in the present, so it is purely in the past or in the future, right? Which creates either a lot of regrets or it creates a lot of anxiety or fear or uncertainty. So friends, what do we do in meditation, right? So in meditative state, we always focus on the present moment, that is the breath. The breath is always happening now, here and now. So what happens here is now all our energy is redirected or channelized to the present moment, that is awareness of the breath. So all our thoughts, we tend to not to follow, we tend not to follow, and we try to get away from the past, the thoughts of the past or the thoughts of the future, and we focus on the present moment, that is our breath, our only guru, our only friend, right? So what happens with this masters is we have a lot of capability and all the powers to create what we want if we have the awareness of the present moment, irrespective of where our awareness or consciousness is. We always keep creating. We always create. We always keep creating. But the unawareness of the present moment and more in terms of unconscious past thoughts and unconscious future thoughts is only going to create all wasteful subjective and objective matter in our life, right? So when we practice meditation, we always tend to come to the present moment, that is with the breath, and keeping the mind almost empty all the time. And in our life also, we so called as a disposable income, right? So like suppose I have a lot of earning and I spend very less, that means I have a lot of disposable income. Similarly, when we do more meditation, we have a lot of disposable energy with us. Our sankalpa shakti increases. Like if you say the present is so vast and wide, and we have many choices to choose and do what we want, to create what we want, to do, listen to what we want, to see what we want. So we have the liberty of doing anything we want if we are in the present moment. That is a awareness, that is consciousness, right? So this is a very basis of what we are when we do meditation. This is a science which speaks that the very moment that we come into the present tense, and that is awareness of the present moment, then we are enlightened, we are aware, we are conscious, right? So this is what happens with continuous practice of meditation. So friends, I'm showing you a couple of pictures here, right? So if you see these images, you see a lot of clouds, isn't it? The clouds which has showing blue color, orange color, and it is raining. Also, you can see two of the clouds are raining, and each cloud is named, right? It can be called as health. It can be called as education, it can be love or fortune, or it can be any name for given for the cloud. So what is the nature of the clouds, friends, right? Suppose there is a cloud, you see health, right? And if I talk about nature of the cloud, how is a cloud formed? Cloud is formed by the water vapors, okay, generating out of the any water body on earth. that evaporates, or it forms a water vapor, and then it goes up to the altitude that it has to go, and then it becomes a formation of that vapor becomes cloud, and that becomes heavier and darker, and then it rains. And not only that, but it does not rain at the same place from where the clouds are formed. The clouds keep traveling. Okay, it is a perfect traveling, and it rains in a perfect spot where it is qualified to rain, where it is matured enough that the cloud becomes heavier, it becomes darker, and in a specific spot there is a rain that happens. So similarly, friends, if I want to ask people like who all are seeking for medical help, okay, who are all deceased, where can we find them? We can find them in hospitals, isn't it? So people who are all seeking to have food, right? Where do we find them? We find them in restaurants or dining halls and the homes, or some other party or a socializing place where they are all eating food. Similarly, anyone who wants to go and study BCom, you can only, a commerce graduation, you can all find them that in one class. If you ask everyone, why have you come here? Everyone will say, we have come here to be a commerce graduate. So it is not a surprise, it's not a miracle. Everyone in that classroom has thought that we will become a commerce graduate, and they all meet there and reign in that class. Similarly, all those people who think of diseases, they'll all reign in a hospital. Similarly, all the doctors who wants to heal others or who wants to give treatment or cure others, they all reign in a hospital again. Right, friends? So anyone who want to find where I can find people who dance, I can find them in theaters or dancing schools or some other stage where they're performing the dance forms, right? So friends, we have to understand that the whole world works like this. That, there's a perfect combination of the demand and supply, or the cloud of thoughts that happen. And then when we think of more of disease and create disease, we end up in the place we are supposed to be. When we think of education, we end up in a place where we go and get educated. Similarly, when you go into a flight which goes to, like, say, San Francisco, anyone you ask them in the flight, then where are you flying to? Then they all say, we are flying to San Francisco. And if something happens to that flight, then all the flight members are affected. Similarly, like, it is a culmination of all the thoughts of the people sitting there in the flight that leads to the results of the flight. What happens to the flight, whether it lands safely or it gets hijacked or it gets, crashed, or, they all have their own directions of life. But at a given moment, everyone is in that flight. Everyone is destined to go to that place together. Right, friends? So this is what happens. But when we are not aware of what we are thinking, what we are choosing, what we are, opting for, then we become a victim. It is called victim way of living. It is called ajnana, or unconscious creating, masters, unconscious creating humans. Right? So today, if you look at the modern living, right, if you see this image, a man with a lot of thoughts in his mind, it is like a person who is completely crumpled under the pressure of thoughts and stress. They will carry a lot of weight, which will make us, get crunched or pressed under a lot of heavy weight. But if you look at the physical body or look at your back, you don't have any weight. But this weight is nothing but the weight of the mind. The physical weight is nothing, but the mental inertia or the mental weight is too heavy to handle. We generate huge amount of number of thoughts in a particular day, which are unconscious, which we don't know what are those. Those thoughts are from the past, or those thoughts are from the future. But we all have to know that every thought has its own destination in the mental body and the physical body, and the external world. Everything carries an address which will be fulfilled. The letter will go that whatever you're seeking, that seeks you. Right, friends? So it is very important for us to understand. The issue is we all have a particular desire or a purpose, or like say we have some intention that yes, I have to be number one in our class, I have to be number one in my office, or I have to achieve so and so financial success in my life. If that is the seed of achieving success, then the weeds are outgrowing the seed's power. Suppose I have sown a mango seed, it will give rise to a mango sapling and a mango tree. But the problem is the weeds have outgrown the mango sapling, and all the water and the manure and all the caring that goes on, it goes to the weeds. And then we end up searching, where is my mango sapling? Where is my mango tree now? Because the weeds have outgrown, isn't it? So that's what happens in a person who is not aware what he or she is creating. So our hurdles grow, our troubles grow, our challenges grow without knowing that I have become a victim of my own thoughts, which I've created unknowingly, unconsciously. All the negative emotions and creations that we have done are becoming a true hurdles for us, where all our energy is getting wasted in wasteful thoughts and wasteful actions, and with no results of what we want to achieve. So, friends, even if you go to a small farmer, he says, right, if you have to get a best crop, you have to ensure that you water and give right manure. At the same time, you have to ensure that you don't have too many weeds that has outgrown the size of the plant that you are expecting the yield to come from. So the weeds can be there, but it should be at a minimum level or a smaller quantity, or you should de-weed continuously. So friends, the de-weeding activity is nothing but your meditation. Okay, so de-weeding activity is nothing but we are removing unwanted thoughts or reducing the number of thoughts from the mind by continuously observing the breath. Okay, so that our Sankalpa Shakti becomes stronger. Like you could see in the previous image, the present is getting higher energy and not in the past and the future. Similarly, when we do more meditation, our Sankalpa Shakti becomes stronger because we get clarity of mind. And mind you, that every thought has two results to it. Every thought has two results to it. You can see in this image that there is a brain and there is a brain wave coming out of the brain, right? So what happens, friends, is the brain is a wonderful device which is not only transmitting signals within our body, but it will also transmit beyond our recognition, beyond our awareness, that it can go to any dimension, any place, or our mind power or thought power that can transmit our intentions or sankalpa to any place. So what happens is, whenever, like suppose we think of a disease, like say someone says, oh, you have a genetic problem in your family, you may also get it. So if you accept the fact and you keep thinking about it, then the body will generate two signals. One is called a wired signal, one is called wireless signal. Suppose you say that, everyone in my family is diabetic, I will also be diabetic someday. Then the body will listen to your command and say, okay, Swamiji, thank you, I will become diabetic. So the brain sends a signal to every cell in the body and say, okay, diabetic, okay, diabetic. And then it will also generate a wireless signal which goes to the universe, and it will promote and activate investors to invest in hospitals and doctors. And they'll be preparing for you to service you when you become diabetic. And it will give generation of employment for builders, for syringe manufacturers, for medicine industry, pharmacy industry. That's how it happens. So the universe is unconditional. It demands whatever we demand, it supplies, right? So friends, this is what is a science of meditation, where whenever we don't know what we create, but we are aware that we should be aware that every thought materializes, everything has its result, whether we want it or not. Through meditation, we become conscious creators. Through meditation, we become awareness, we come into awareness, we become responsible co-creators on the earth planet. So I just, with one last example, I'll end my talk. So one of the experiments conducted by a famous scientist and master, Masaru Emoto, who is a Japanese scientist, who has done a lot of experimenting on water and water molecules, what happens. So in one of the experiments here, if you see, he takes 5 bottles of water and then he feeds 5 emotions to the water bottle. Without even like touching the water, he just holds a water bottle and offers a prayer and keeps it aside. And then he does a gratitude, saying thank you, and then keeps it aside. And then he yells and curses the water and he keeps it aside. And then he says love and appreciation. I love you so much and thank you very much. So he keeps that aside. So he takes all the 5 bottles and freezes in the refrigerator and examines that water molecules. And this is what he finds. The pattern are completely different for every emotion. So he says our body is something like Earth planet, which has the 75% of Earth, water particles or water content. Okay. Whenever we think, if we are not aware or aware, whatever thoughts and emotions we carry, it has an impact on your liquid content in the body. What is the best liquid content we have is the blood. So blood is a fundamental building block. It goes to every part of our body, the tissues, the muscles, the nerves, everywhere the blood moves. And that is what is carrying the life force everywhere. And that creates the disease or healing depending on what we carry. And mostly the humans who are not aware of or which are not conscious of what we are thinking, it's all negative creation. It's a reservation on each other. It is isolation. It's saying hatred. It's negativity about one person or another. Right, friends? So we have almost like 50 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. And what are those thoughts? We don't know. So just like how it impacts the water, he says every thought, every emotion, what we generate has an impact on my body and also has an impact on external body, that is the universe, the world around us. It generates the energy, it creates a world that we are creating knowingly, unknowingly, right? So friends, just a quick recap. What we do is, every thought materializes. We have to arrive at this, conclusion, like, every thought what we get in the mind, it has its own result. And awareness of speech, thoughts, speech, and action is a key. And meditation is a way to conscious living. That means to get a Trikarna Shuddhi, okay, dhyana is a Parama Aushadha. Okay, Trikarna Shuddhi means a 3-layer purification, that is Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. Mind purification, walk purification, that is our speech, and action, right? Karmana is our action. So meditation gives us all the 3-layer purification, okay? And meditation helps us in the shift in the thought pattern. So how do we balance our life, right? So the only way is to give the prime time in our day for meditation so that we become more efficient throughout the day, whatever we want to do, as many minutes as our age. And then also, before the end of the meditation, make a mental plan. What is my day going to look like? How is my day going to look like? Give a 30 seconds plan in the mind. And during the day, be mindful. How to be mindful is to recollect or recall your breath. Even when you are eating the food, cooking, walking, jogging, playing, or working at your office or driving, just make sure that time and again you recollect and befriend your breath. And how do we end the day? Is 5 minutes we spend on reflecting on how the day went and what is that I can be a better of me the next minute or next day of what I was today. And also, before sleeping, you sit on your bed, meditate till you completely fall asleep and lie down without opening the eyes. And that is the secret of starting the day with meditation and ending the day with meditation. And we become powerful and responsible, conscious co-creators on the Earth planet. And also we become more and more, spiritual scientists and better, knowledge of ourselves and our capability to create a better world. So that's all I had, friends, in terms of giving you some thoughts on what the science of meditation is, and also, how we can create the world we want together. So, any questions anyone has, we can take it up. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Suresh Kalburgi. We enjoyed your very informative and enlightening speech about science of meditation. Now everyone can clap for 30 seconds as a gesture of gratitude. Afterwards, please raise your hand to comment or ask any questions. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you first, Arundhati Master from London. Thank you very much.
Greetings to all. Thank you very much, Suresh Master. Very excellent speech you have given about how is the meditation works, science of meditation. As a senior master, I would like, because I don't want to repeat what you said again and again, so I would like to ask one question. That thoughts are the, we have thoughts, so many thoughts. As a senior master, how do we know when you are in a thoughtless stage? As we start meditating, so many thoughts are bombarded into us, and we still come back to your normal awareness, to our breath over and over again. But still, how do we know that we are in thoughtless state?
Yes, ma'am. So thank you for that question. Basically, it's all about moving from higher density of thoughts to a lower density of the thoughts, right? That is a practice, that is a journey. And the moment we become awareness, a true witness, right? So if you're just witnessing and then you are aware of that witnessing itself, that should be a true indicator of you being a true witness, true being a Parabrahmasthiti. That means that we are neither creating nor destroying or not maintaining any thoughts. That means, that's called no Srishti Sthiti Laya. Because when we have any thoughts, that means to say we are creating, right? When we maintain any thoughts, the following, then we are maintaining something or we are trying to destroy something. So if we are not in any of these three states, and if you are becoming aware of a perfect witnessing or watching, okay, if we come to that state of awareness where we are just sensing that, yes, I am just witnessing and I'm in that state, that is a moment where we know that, yes, it is just a witnessing state. So it is a observing and awareness state. And it is one of the experiences that I can share is that, when I went into this state for a couple of my experiences in my years, is that even my heartbeat or my blood circulation could stop. I'll stop, and the moment I come back again, that, yes, what's happening, and I become active again, I can sense that, the blood circulation started happening. And that's when actually my experience started. I can share that, that's when it's like a generator, it started again, and then the blood started pumping up. So this is a experience that I can share, but this is my way of looking and sharing the experience, but every master might have its own experience and way of looking at it.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And you were saying that wireless signals. Can you expand of that little bit more, please?
Yes. So what happens here is, like if you write a letter to any person, right? It has a name, it has a door number, it has a block and a pin code, right? And when you write a letter, it can go to a home of 10 people, right? But the letter goes to a single person. Only that person will take the letter and read it. Similarly, every thought that we get and every emotion we get has an address in our body that is called a destination address. Like say, if you have a jealousy means, like say, what is the place of jealousy? That is called, it goes to the stomach. It is a fire. Jealousy is a fire, right? It generates a lot of acidity. And the place where it affects, and if I continuously, repetitively hammer that stomach with the jealousy. So what happens is we'll end up with what you call hyperacidity, acid reflux, or gastric, or whatever, or the fire, or anger. So where is it hitting? It is hitting the stomach. Okay. And if I have a fear or insecurity, anything like that, it affects your Muladhara chakra or your blood. Okay. Blood is your red color, right? So you may end up into repetitive thoughts of the same, creates the blood deficiencies, blood issues, cancer or hemoglobin or anything, or that fear, uncertainty creates a lot of problems in your self-esteem, self-confidence, and things like that. So it transmits to the neurons and the nerves, and that actually creates a lot of problems in the blood-related things. So similarly, every thought has an internal action, which goes and hits continuously with a repetitive thought. Like hitting a stone continuously at one, it shapes up into a particular form, right? So same way, our body nerves, our body cells also carries a signal like that. Similarly, when I transmit it outside, right? If you go and ask a hospital builder or a restaurant, why are you cooking so much of food? Why are you cooking so many idlis? He says some idli person will come and buy. That's why I'm cooking the idli. He doesn't know that you are going to go. When you go there, the idli is ready for you. When you go to a hospital, the hospital is ready for you. That means the universe is picking up the signal and responding to your needs. Right? So that is a wireless signal. They get a hunch, they get an intuition that yes, let me do this. But if we stop thinking, like say, if people stop buying the idlis, no one will be there to sell idlis on the streets. So it is a perfect universe where it caters to whatever we need unconditionally.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. It's a wonderful experience you have shared with us also. And one more question. You have been meditating so long with a different type of meditation, I mean. But now recently, how long you have been meditating this Ana-Pana-Sathi meditation?
I have been meditating Ana-Pana-Sati since 15 years.
15 years. Oh, okay then.
So I have been exploring a lot of other spiritual practices, but I met Patriji way back in 2010. That's when I have been meditating on this.
So you are sharing a wisdom in any other group like CIS, PSSM Tamil we have. In which group you belongs to?
No, I also take care and support the PMC Kannada. So
Okay.
I head as the acting director for the group. And also I support in Pyramid Valley International in Bangalore. We conduct a lot of retreats and some sessions there. So I support those initiatives here. And I'm also part of the International Federation of Spiritual Scientists, IFSS. So wherever I get opportunity, I go and support. And I'm also part of the PIMA here. So many groups.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Jagannathan Master from Ilford, East London. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone. I was eagerly listening to the talk or presentation by Suresh Master. But I must say here, because you brought science into it. See, the concept of science has a special meaning. Rationality, proof, and everything comes into it. Whereas spiritual concepts are based on acceptance. I'm quoting this from a professor who runs a channel in India, Professor Murali. He says, acceptance is you accept from learned people as what they put forward as valid. In Tamil, they call it Pudamai. So there's no question of rationality. It's all mysticism. So that's the key word. Because the images that you displayed as, air contained in a balloon, is a structural representation. But thought isn't a structural thing. You see, there's a well-known phrase. It says, where attention goes, the energy flows. It's not in emotion. I gave a talk about it. I think people use emotion as that. No, where attention goes, energy flows. So if your attention is in the past, all your energy is drained in the past. And the attention goes to the future, energy is drained. So pay the attention to the present. But there's another key thing, which is present. I'm borrowing from Osho's thing. What we call as present time is an illusion. And you can't present in a balloon, containing air. Because what is present is a blink of an eye. And everything is in the future, in a blink of a second, become present, and then in the past. That doesn't mean, you don't get carried away. You focus and pay attention at that moment, rather than, because past means often you're worried about regretting, isn't it? And future means fearful. This regret and fear are because of negative. If you're happy with the past, you're not stressed, isn't it? Because you mentioned stress as the past and future. So same thing with future. If the future is going to be joyful, it's not under stress. So this is where the positive and negative thinking comes in. So I have to mention this because in a way, as I said, people who are learned put forward these as, concepts, we have to accept it. But you can't say it's science. The Japanese experiment, I have doubts really. First of all, we all know the snow, they say the snow crystals, each crystal is a different shape, it seems. I never checked it myself. And also, by freezing the water and examining, I'm not sure really. You have to stay in, or I don't know whether you don't stay in or not. You can just observe the microscopic appearance in the plain water. I have no idea. And also, it has to be independently done by other people and repeated. Same person doing is under bias is not scientifically accepted. So I have reservations about it. I have to say this because people often bring this as a great example and say, oh, this is science. Science has all different meaning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your feedback. Definitely, yes, I agree that, where the awareness flows, that's when the creation happens, right? So unawareness of where the mind also is what is the major cause today for the world at large, not about the intellectuals like you, right? So the major cause where I think you might also be aware that, the creation of these stressful habits, that is, all that regrets and anxiety, this is what is creating the whole medical world here, right? So that's because even the very way of digestion process itself is psychologically driven. If you are not in a good mood or a good shape, then it doesn't digest. It becomes bloating. It can create radical cells and things like that. Anything can happen, right? So it's all driven by the awareness. If we are not aware, then we are unconscious. So the main purpose of here saying is we go beyond the three states. That's why I was saying we are going beyond the Srishti Laya. There's no past, present, and future. Everything is beyond, right? So we are all in a witnessing state. That's the final. The striving is to be more aware, more conscious, more in the present moment. As you said, the present moment also is just a virtual thing. It's about awareness. But to start somewhere, we have to take a step forward. And when we become very dense into this sort of thoughtful world, somewhere we need to see how we can dilute it, how we can move to the next stage. So that's where these analogies will help and motivate more members to meditate and come to the path of self-exploration, self-awareness, consciousness, and enlightenment. So that is the only purpose. Otherwise, not to mislead, just to get the concept in the mind right as a beginner, and might not be required for an adept, a very matured or a senior master. Thank you, sir.
Much. Next we have Kumar Master from Sydney, Australia.
Greetings to everybody. First, I would like to thank Suresh Master for your informative and inspirational presentation. You have highlighted most of the psychological positive fact, which I do appreciate. And the essence of your speech, actually our thoughts, or rather the emotion created by the thought, determine our life. So that is basically everyone should understand. Another thing we are discussing here is whether to think about the past or the future or the present. Actually, the past and the future exist only in the present moment. So if we really focus on the past or the future, then we will not be able to do what we have to do in the present moment. So that is why they recommend nowadays mindful living. Mindfulness is the only important thing. So that is where it comes to the meditation. When we focus on our breath, we are not thinking about the past or the future. So it's a spontaneous one. And thoughts also, they are very spontaneous. So either they are negative or positive. So it is up to us. It is up to us to choose the positive or negative one. So what we are doing in the meditation is to eliminate or reduce the negative thoughts and focus only on the positive. So that's what leads to, that determines our health, wealth, happiness all around. So if we are not happy with our life, we have to change primarily our thoughts. So if we have changed our thoughts, we can do better. That's the essence of your speech, and I hope everybody understand that. Actually, very productive speech. And I think the most important thing is we must practice what we have been listening. Thank you very much for your very wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And again, giving a flag of negative and positive is again subjective, right? Like if you look at fire, fire itself is neither positive or negative. Application of the mind and where it is applied that decides whether you take it as negative or positive, right? So everything, thought is a thought, but flagging it is depending on how we take it, how we apply it. So if water is treated as Arak, then it's Arak, then water is treated as water is a different thing. So it's quite a subjective term, but yes, every thought has a result, so we should be aware. Awareness is more important than here. Yes, thank you.
Actually, when the thoughts come, we should not meddle with the lead. We must let it go. Only we select the thought that we would like to handle that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Applying
That's
the thought.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Mr. and Mrs. Lingardna Masters from Sydney, Australia.
Greetings to everyone. Thank you very much, Suresh Master, for the excellent presentation on science of meditation. So, a good example you mentioned about the mango tree covered by weeds. Yeah, most of that's a good example. We have bad thoughts, and that covers the important, the main function of our activities. So my question is the planning for the future. So when you plan for the future, and you have to think about the past and the future. So a lot of thoughts going here and there, but how do you tackle? But now I have found a way. What I do is I put it on a paper instead of have it in my mind. Write everything with far past and future and plan it and stop it. Is there any other better way for the planning?
Yes, sir. Actually, the planning for the future also is in the present moment. That means to say, like, say, if you ask a farmer, okay, what do you do to get a good yield, or how do you do a farming? He says that first I plow the land and remove all the weeds and clean it and just make the soil to be looking clean, right? And then he knows what seeds he's sowing. He knows what is he picking. He doesn't just wildly pick a sack of seeds and then just say, okay, you grow. It's not that way, right? So even the future, he knows the crop is in the future, but he knows what is he sowing now. So your future is nothing but in the present moment. You should know what you are sowing. So the secret here is that the farmer knows what is he sowing by hand picking the seeds, the quality of the seeds. And it makes sure that the so-called the mind is like a field. He cleans the field first. It removes all the weeds. So meditation does cleaning of all the present, the past and the future. That means growing and reweeding it, and then making it all look clean. And then the so-called awareness, when you have an empty or a more rarely populated field, you sow a seed, then you know what you're sowing, and that is nothing but if you sow a mango seed, you know it's going to be mango. If you sow bitter gourd, you know it's going to be bitter gourd. That's it. So when we are not aware, then we become a victim. Why is this happening in my life? Why did I get cancer? Why did I get someone beating me? Why did someone burglar me? Why is my hand cut in this accident? So we don't know that we invited it. So whether we are victim, that's when we move from karma yoga to jnana yoga, right? So when you are in awareness and you create, that's called jnana yoga. Like when you are becoming like a victimized, or later realize that you are already in the reaping of the fruits, then you realize it come from somewhere else. So that's how it is. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, greetings to everyone. Thank you very much, Suresh Master, for the very good informative speech. You said that thoughts, even thoughts materializes, but you have to be aware of the thoughts, not only the thought, speech, and action. Meditation will give us the power to do this Trikarana Shuddhi. Then you said start with meditation, and it's make mental plan of key goals. Then you have told us be mindful. Those are very good points for us. Be mindful during the day, in the day with 5 minutes, reflecting on day from meditate till you feel very sleepy. Then yes, you have to introspect yourself. No, that's the, you go inside and watch what happened and be aware of that. Then the universe is responding your needs, and perfect universe, you told us. Very wonderful messages for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next we have Babu Shanmanathan Master from Edgware, London. Thank you.
Thank you. Greetings to all. Thank you, Suresh, Kalburgi Master. Thank you so much for your presentation. Very good presentation, simple presentation, and you explained it well. But we already know some of the things. I like to agree with you on one thing. The Masaru Emoto's experiment. I politely disagree with Jaga Master, because it has been proved by experiment. What you said is 100% correct, proved by experiment. Therefore, we have to believe it. Experiment by physics, it has been proved by experiment, so we have to believe that. I want to tell everybody here that one. That's a fact. That's one thing. So thank you for that information. You mentioned, I think coming last is a good thing, is I don't have to say so many things. I have so many questions in my mind, and people ask, and you have also answered those questions. So I'll make it short. Your wording about after meditation, you get a lot of energy, disposable energy. And the analogy you made to that one, disposable, everybody likes money, disposable income. You have more disposable income, so like more disposable income, fellows, friends, you will be getting lots of energy. Now, one thing I want to ask you here, Suresh Master, is this. I believe that if I do everything as far as possible in practical life, doing meditation for a very long time, it's, well, should I say impractical, or it's very difficult. However, if you do everything, every activity you do with your presence in mind, mindfully, that is also equivalent to meditation. I was told, am I right in saying that? So whatever you do, Say for 5 minutes you are sweeping the floor. If you do that by mindfully, that's added to your 5 minutes meditation. Am I right or wrong?
No, wonderfully said, Babu Master, that what is meditation is to be in awareness, not observing the breath, basically. Okay, so the great Zen master says, what is enlightenment or what is meditation? Is walk while you walk, talk while you talk, eat while you eat. That is meditation, right? So that is awareness, that is mindfulness. So when we all realize, we all do that, right? That walk while you walk, eat while you eat, think while you think, right? So that's how it is. And when we are already in that state, there's no need to close the eyes and the so-called become unconscious when we open the eyes and then become conscious when we close the eyes. So the purpose is to percolate throughout the day. So the initial practice of our meditation will be to close our eyes, because the density of thoughts are so high that the projector, the so-called as a mind as a projector, does not have a screen. So we are becoming more unconscious, unaware of what is going on what is a movie that's going on. So when we sit down for practice of meditation, we are putting a screen in front of it, and then we are editing all the kachra. Okay, put everything into dustbin and then clean it up. So we don't need a 300-hour movie. We just record 300 hours, but we need only 2 hours to make our best movie. So if I want to be a best person in my life, so we practice it by closing the eyes and learn the art of being aware, actually, and being in mindful state. And then we open the eyes throughout the day, we percolate that energy, percolate that feeling and awareness, and then we become more and more better. So when we become more and more better, that means the whole day is meditative.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We don't.
Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have enough time for translation, Saroja Devi Master. Only 4 minutes to go there. We will make it next Monday for the translation. And you can comment if you want anything. You can comment. Sorry about it, Thank you. You can start.
Thank you. Greetings to everybody. Thank you very much, Suresh Master, for the very informative and inspiring speech you delivered today on the science of meditation. I had 2 questions quickly. Now, my understanding is that to overcome the regrets of the past and fear of the future, meditation is a tool. What if a person has had a memorable, successful life in the past and is anticipating a very joyful life in the future? Does this person need meditation for anything? I'm asking that question. The second question is that now, when science fails, spirituality begins. This is a saying that we often hear. When science fails, spirituality begins. That is, if the medications given by doctors fail to heal our health problems, we resort to meditation as a tool for healing our diseases. Now, I have read and found out that meditation as a science has some impact, a healing impact on people's health. It can help to heal blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and various other diseases. Now, what do you think? Is it the right way to think, or is it wrong in my thinking? Am I thinking wrong? This is what I have read and learned. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Master, for your wonderful feedback. So first thing first, right? So coming back to your thoughts, you have a wonderful feeling of the past and a great joyous feeling of the future. Whatever it is, right? See, the thing is, it is called as a sense of intoxication, right? So you are there completely in the past and then not being aware of what you are doing in the present. and completely only about the future, not being aware of where we are currently. It's again a sense of intoxication. It doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. Thoughts are always thoughts, and it creates what it wants, right? So whatever you sow, it comes out. So the analogy of the past and future is just to make people aware that what we are doing presently is only going and doing a dreaming back what happened in the past, or whether we are going to dream what we do in the future. So that actually drives the result again in the next minute. At this point of a time, I can blink, or I can close my eyes, I can open it, I can see left, right, up, down, or I can sit down, I can jump. I have so many choices to do. But are you aware of the choice is what is the matter, right? So the meditation is a way where we can get a choice, an awareness of that you have so many choices. You can go in the past, but with awareness. You can go in the future, but with awareness. So are we aware of the choice itself? I have so many multiple dimensions. It's called the time threads. Every time thread has its own dimension to create. Every crack in the time thread is a new dimension, new world, new opportunity altogether, right? So, and second thing is, yes, I definitely feel and sense that spiritual science is the mother of all the sciences. Okay, first comes the spiritual science, then comes your matter, that the Panchabhutas, the earth and water and fire and air and ether, everything comes later, right? Because just because we measure the distance between earth and sun, or any stars and moons and other galaxies, it doesn't mean that they start working when you start calculating, right? We reverse integrate the calculation, give a logic to it, and say that, tie up and say, oh, this is how it works. That's a limited projection or an interception of what the whole universe is all about. And then you just take a pie or a small speck of it to help us to comprehend and understand through the so-called scope of mind. Okay, so spiritual science is beyond the material science. Okay, that is a mother of all the sciences. And it cannot be getting into an argument or a debate mode, but